Hey boys and girls, raise your hand if you've heard of transit. Yeah? Yeah? Now raise your hand if you like transit. Okay, I see how it is. Look, transit is a bad map, and I'm not going to defend it in any way. By itself, the experience is way too convoluted and a little too ambitious for the time that it was released. But there were some things that it did do right, and I feel like some people fail to mention that when they talk about the map. One of those things being the Green Run survival maps, which were basically just condensed portions of the original transit map that you could play as normal survival experiences. These small survival maps were so loved that they actually got remade in the Black Ops 3 engine by fans, and today we're actually going to be talking about those. So I present to you my review of the Black Ops 3 custom remakes of the Green Run survival maps, Farm, Town, and Bus Depot. I will be going over each individually, so if you want to know my thoughts on a specific map, there will be time codes in the description. But, without further ado, let's get started with Farm. This is Farm, a map created by a group of 7 for Black Ops 3 and published to the Steam Workshop on June 8th, 2018. This map is as simplistic of a remake as you can get, but that's not a bad thing. You've got the wall weapons, the mystery box, perks, Wonder Fizz, and newly included Gobblegum machine for players to break the game with. No Easter egg, no pack-a-punch, just a simple but difficult survival experience. Think the Knocked remake from Zombie Chronicles if it was a little more open and set in a farm. Honestly, there's not a whole lot to say about this map. Have you played Farm? Then you've played the remake. Is it fun? Yes. It can get very hectic even on early rounds due to the small layout. However, you do have plenty of resources to survive with, which is what makes for a good survival map in my opinion. Like I said, Gobblegums can break the difficulty a bit, but that can be said about any map that decides to include them. The fact that they give you that choice just makes it all the better. The map definitely has replayability value, especially to those who enjoy going high rounds and challenging themselves. There's a second Farm remake on the Steam Workshop, however, I didn't play it as this was the better looking version of me. However, I'm thinking about doing a follow-up video where I look at the other remakes that I don't look at in this video, so leave a comment down below if you are interested in seeing that. Otherwise, there isn't much else to say, so let's move on to a map I have a lot more to say about. Town Reimagined. This is Town Reimagined, a map created by Zila and a group of talented creators, which are way too many to name off in this one video, but was published on January 13th, 2019. This map has garnered a lot of attention from the Zombies community in the last year, and for good reason. This map does for Town like Nuketown Remastered did for Nuketown Zombies, and in some ways did even more. First of all, this map is amazing to look at, from the newly detailed textures to the amazing particle effects and lighting. All of it comes together to create an immersive map that takes Town and gives it a whole new life. Not only did the textures get an upgrade, however, but so too does the layout. New sections of the map are opened up, the most noticeable area being the bowling alley, which gives you a large open area to train in. Something I have a bit of a problem with, but I'll touch on that in a second. All of the original perks are here along with some newly added ones such as PhD Flopper, Banana Colada, and Tombstone Soda. All of these are welcome additions, and PhD is even given a little Easter egg quest to find it, even though it's pretty easy to figure out. All of the weapons are from Black Ops 2 as well, giving it that nostalgic feeling for anyone who has played the original map. Side note, this is something I wish that Farm Remastered had did, but it didn't, and that's fine. They only used the Black Ops 3 weapons. It just felt a little lazy, and I feel like this map handles it much better than the other one. All of the weapons are from Black Ops 2 as well, giving it that nostalgic feeling for anyone who has played the original map. This map includes an Easter egg song as well, which is Light the Torch by Raise the Dead, which is fitting enough, I suppose. There's nothing extraordinary about it, but it's a cool addition. Other than that, though, there's not much in the way of Easter eggs, which again is completely fine in my opinion, as the map stands as an amazing survival map by itself. Many have stated that this should be the standard for remake maps in the future, and I agree with this statement wholeheartedly. But this map does have a couple flaws. To some this may not be a flaw, but I do see it as being an exploit, that being this area right here. There's a way to get to the area without opening the door below, making all the zombies gather in this one area and climb up the window one at a time, making it incredibly easy to pick them off before they can even reach you. Technically the map allows you to do this, so it may or may not be an exploit, but it does feel a bit cheap in my opinion. The bowling alley, as I mentioned earlier, is also a point of contention I have with this map. Don't get me wrong, I love the addition, and it's aesthetically pleasing and adds character to the map where it was lacking before, but the design breaks the difficulty as well. There are 3 entry points for the zombies to come in from, the 2 doorways and the drop down area from the ceiling. All of this takes place in one corner of the room, allowing you to sit back as the zombies come straight at you, and no zombies coming from behind, removing a lot of tension. Don't get me wrong, it can still be tense, but the placement of the entry points mixed with the flat layout of the area makes it the one area you'll stay at most likely to keep you alive. Again, this may not be a problem to some, but to a designer it can be game breaking. Other than those 2 layout issues, I can't say there's much wrong with the map. I appreciate the map makers leaving out Gobblegums, giving the map a bit more of a classic challenge, and overall, the map does everything right. It builds on a beloved map, gives it an updated look, and just lets the player have fun. This map is just fun, plain and simple. I recommend it to anyone who hasn't tried it out already. You may just discover a new favorite. But with that being said, it's time we move on to our final remake, Return to Bus Depot. Return to Bus Depot, arguably the best map of the bunch, which is surprising as I thought that town would be, seeing as its layout is bigger and better than Bus Depot's, but Zayla and his team somehow pushed Bus Depot forward more than I could have expected. This map was released on September 18th, 2019, and yes, was created by the same people behind Town Reimagined. And you can really tell as the amount of detail is as good, if not better than Town Reimagined. Seriously, this map looks amazing, better than some of the maps in BO4. Which isn't really saying a lot. This map is not much bigger than the original. Sure, a few areas are opened up, like the newly added Pack-a-Punch and Teleporter area, but the map mostly keeps the same layout as the original. So what makes this better than Town Reimagined in my opinion? Well, there's a lot of factors. For starters, there's a larger variety of weapon choices, that being a mix of Modern Warfare and Black Ops 4 weaponry. However, each weapon has its own punch to it, something that's a bit hard to explain. It may be the newly added hit markers that really give that extra oomph to each gun, or maybe it's how much damage they do or the sounds they make. I really couldn't tell you what it is, but whatever it is, I love it. It really just adds a lot to each weapon. Next, there is the new boss zombie that has been added to the map, that being the Avogadro from Transit. This addition to the map adds loads of tension as he constantly follows you around even if it is at a slow pace. His lightning attack can be the difference between life and death, and he really keeps you on your toes. There's also the Easter eggs, which are very short and easy to figure out, which is nice. The Pack-a-Punch Easter egg is short and requires you to use the Wonder Waft to complete. It's short, fun, and gives you a free wonder weapon in the process, which I'll talk about in a minute. All the things I just mentioned come together to create a great survival experience, one that I prefer over most. It's simple, fun, looks amazing, has great weaponry, and allows Pack-a-Punch to be unlocked, giving you something extra to do, which is always a nice addition. Even in a survival map, I don't want everything to be given to me from the start. I like there to be a little progression, something that pushes you forward, not something that keeps you in one place. And thankfully, this map accomplishes just that. course every map has its flaws, and just because I really enjoy this one doesn't mean I can't see its problems. First of all, the Wonder Waft. It is way too easy to get in this map. You can have it by round 1, which makes it super overpowered and kills the progression of the survival aspects a bit. Secondly, the Easter egg song is pretty lame, being Damned by Kevin Sherwood, which, if you don't know, is the main Zombies theme music that we've heard since Black Ops 1. Maybe this is just a nitpick, but the first time I did the Easter egg, I didn't even realize the song was playing. It just sounded like background music. It was just a little disappointing, that's all. Thankfully, there aren't any big pathing problems or layout issues, which can be attributed to the small map scale. However, there is an issue where the zombies swarm around the Pack-a-Punch teleporter when you teleport back to the main area, and this can get you killed if you don't react fast enough. This can be a slight annoyance, but I find it more interesting than annoying, as it adds a bit of challenge to the map. Think of it like the office doors in 5 when you leave the Pack-a-Punch area, and all the zombies are waiting for you. Make of it as you will, but either way, it is an unintentional feature. So overall, this map has the most simplistic layout, yet has the most in-depth features of the 3 maps, and is my favorite to go back and play when I want a simple survival experience. So, how do these maps stack against each other? Well, I believe that Farm is a bit too simplistic in comparison to the other 2, but those other 2 are very close in quality and are some of the best maps you can download on the Steam Workshop. I hope to see even more remakes from Zayla and his team in the future, and who knows, maybe one day we'll get a full Transit remastered. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. Like I said earlier, there are more Transit-related maps for BO3 and World at War, so if you'd like to see me cover them in the future, leave a like down below. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.